Okay, hi, I am Jesse Parent. I'm speaking on behalf of Avery Lim, Jenny Liu Zhang, Nick Stairs, and Bradley Alicia on allostatic kinds towards a taxonomy of permutations of subject object directionality in causation. Here's kind of a little diagram about that we'll show a little bit later too. But the general agenda right now is to quickly go through some background, some agent-based model inspiration, addressing what allostatic kinds are, some arenas we're looking at for testing associated principles, and some computational methods for our work we're looking to do ahead. First, for qualia, there are some theories of qualia that argue that phenomenological character of an experience is defined by the characteristics of an object and the viewpoint of which an object is perceived. Our work seeks to extend this description of qualia to include structures prescribed by the orientation of the perceiver in relation to causal facts and models of the world. So what are allostatic kinds? We are defining them here as a taxonomy of permutations of causal directions between a subject and object, and maybe some associated principles. We're inspired by Francis Halian's work, who we'll mention a little bit later. And we're exploring some different computational models of independent utility functions and representations of these allostatic mechanisms. And some major questions that these kinds may be able to help address are: what are innates? In AI, or towards more robust AI, there's discussion of what innates may be required to have higher level artificial intelligence, yes. But also, how is this reflected biologically? How are innates in information or cognitive processing or allostatic mechanisms? How are they housed in biological developments? Also, holistic models and multimodal integration, as many models of cognition or consciousness or agent utility. Can allostatic kinds be a useful framework for exploring these or integrating them, perhaps, or how to navigate that whole arena? And also, there's maybe a need for explanatory or some causal theories, and to take some risks and try to put something together and see if we can have some more explanatory power, and maybe maybe we can help with that too. So some of our inspiration comes from agent-based modeling, along the lines of Neumann architecture, yes, and A-Life, and more recently, some more robust modeling of emergent phenomena, economic, social psychology, cognition, and looking at some bottom-up computational models, systemic and broader outcomes. Yes. So as far as physiology and cybernetics, just mention these go back some time. Allostasis has a few decades old now, and allostatic load is a very important concept. Uh, Cybernetics goes back much further. There's the Evergood regulator theorem, Ashby and Connet. We're looking to kind of bring these things around and investigate what we can take from these concepts and play with them a bit. The knowledge allostatic kinds broadly, Halian explored these cybernetic evolutionary epistemologies in a paper, 1995 paper, and they have unique criteria of evaluation that serve different functions, and were inspired by his taxonomy, which to apply it on a scale of an agent's personal models of axiological and epistemological criteria, causal, phenomenological context. We hope to develop this model of agent-level cybernetic evolutionary epistemology, um, and the different kind of permutations we're talking about, articulating, balancing, prioritizing. These are what we're kind of hoping to explore as allostatic kinds, and these kinds are sort of an explanatory framework that facilitates an agent's utility articulation and optimization principles. And again, you know, we're inspired by Alexander Sanz et al.'s work um, in agent-based simulation that uses active interest to model interoceptive control. And again, well, we mentioned this, but we're looking to develop a taxonomy about these things with the cognitive and epistemic perspectives, and the positioning of cause and effect in relation to an agent. And again, just to note some other inspirational models that we've been looking at or that inspire us. Cybernetics Week 5, of course, first and free energy principle. Adam Saffron's working on integrated world modeling theory. Tanani's integrated information theory. And there's a lot of really interesting theories in academia that have been fleshed out to do some of this relationship between these different causal, allostatic, state switching aspects of things. But there's also they may be pseudoscientific, but there are also various wisdom traditions that are looking at and tools for personal exploration that maybe correspond to allostatic kinds or mechanisms for predictive processing. These show intuitive importance given to the breadth and type of dynamics we may be able to model with allostatic kinds. So kind of just showing there's maybe some things that have spread out in how we intuitively grasp certain situations that have a lot of links back to some other things. And some more some arenas for testing out these principles might be things like observer dependent models or embodied cognition in the very broad sense. A lot of Michael Levin's work in morphogenetics comes to mind, memory, evolutionary paths, and Paul Kysek's phylogenetic refinement. Very interesting to look at how these kinds may be playing out over anatomical developments over history. I'll make this a little bit larger here, but just different structural changes and how they may be able to affect how these kinds have potentially expressed themselves over time, and how the shaping of evolutionary processes have maybe coincided with the development and refinement of these kinds. So as far as the ABMs were interested in looking at specifically, Giacomo is a platform we're interested in using, which has a lot of different organizational, agent, and endogenous environment levels that we can combine together and hopefully look at this. Chantanel has used this in their own active inference inspired things. And we're looking to kind of model, expand upon this to our own notions of prediction, utility, and emergent adaptive strategies. We're also really interested in the Neurobotics platform. We just found out about this, and if you have experience, we'd love to talk about this maybe more in Discord. But trying out some things in here, in there sounds quite interesting. And then future development are brain brick vehicles and orthogonal research in education lab. We've done a lot of work with enhanced developmental brain brick vehicles in the past for neurodevelopmental simulations, and looking to continue that with this effort too. So please check that out and let us know if you're interested. On behalf of Avery, Jenny, Nick, Bradley, and myself, thank you so much. And thank you, Neuromatch. Thank you, Center, for enabling effective autism learning and research for sponsoring some of our work here. And thanks to Orthogonal Lab, Plot Twisters, and Incarnation Futures as well. We'd love to chat with you more in Discord. Take care and talk to you soon, hopefully. Bye.